Hi there, this is Ronnie, coming at you with rant? Nah, no. I was watching YouTube earlier today. Do please excuse my reddish sort of hue on my face. Scotland is enjoying a heat wave, which is nice for people who enjoy the sun. But for people like me, it's an absolute nightmare. The reason being is that underneath all this white and grey, I am a ginger and I burn. So I tend to stay out of the sun. It is quite excessively hot. And this ruddish complexion is just from being out of the sun for 2 minutes. So yeah. Anyway, I was on YouTube earlier. And I was watching a compilation of people rage quitting video games, be it Fortnite or all these kind of combat games and so on. I assume a lot of them being rage quitting whilst sort of live streaming on Twitch or something like that. And I was watching it, and I know a lot of people put these compilations together because they find all these rage quitters funny. And I must admit, I don't. And it's not because I don't have a sense of humour. It's because I find the immaturity of these guys to be insane. Grown men breaking their keyboards, smashing up, punching the walls, smashing on, battering down on their desks and all this simply because of losing a life in a game. Now, I don't know, to be fair, how much of that is playing to the camera. That they're going completely over the top. Because they think it's funny to go OTT, or it's expected that people rage quit. And if that's the case, then I kind of shrug my shoulders and say, whatever, float your boat, mate. But if it's not, if that's an actual reaction to what's going on, it's very childish. Now, as someone who doesn't really play computer games at all, apart from retro games, why do I bring this up as a tabletop gamer? I've seen the odd video that has been done for comedy of people rage quitting things like Magic. But overall, there seems to be less examples, certainly less examples on YouTube, of rage quitting with tabletop gaming. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, and I'll move this one out of the way straight away, role-playing games. I'm going to put this in my other tabletop games section because the RPGs don't really apply, because winning and losing in an RPG aren't, they're terms that don't really apply to us. We don't do win or lose. We do survival. We don't win or lose. But the other reason, I think, is because when you're playing a board game, and I'm not talking about online, I'm talking about around the table. When you're playing a board game, or a card game, a dueling game of some kind, or a dice game, any sort of competitive game, even a co-op game, you're playing with other people. There's less of an incentive to rage quit, because the other players will frown on you. I mean, I know there's the infamous number of stories about people rage quitting Monopoly. I get that. It's why I don't really have a version of Monopoly in the house. But I wonder if one of the reasons why you don't see it as much in tabletop gaming is because we're not sitting in isolation. We're sitting in a situation where a social contract is in play, where we are beholden to each other, and to accept that a certain amount of just, I dare to say it, good table manners are presumed, and it's frowned upon when people don't. And I think that's a big part of it. And I think, not to be immodest, it's one of the reasons why I've never found modern gaming much of an interest. I like the social aspect of gaming. It's what I really missed during lockdown. Is that social aspect, is being able to be with other people and have a laugh and a joke and sit around, have a cuppa or drink a juice, some snacks, and game. It's so much fun. And I think, by and large, and this may be controversial, that tabletop gamers are by and large better behaved because of it. You certainly don't see the kind of excesses that you see. I mean, okay, somebody rage quitting Monopoly might flip the table. Pretty silly as it is. But you don't see them break the damn table. Look at some of these video gamers, and as I say, they might be doing it for comedic effect. They might be doing it as some sort of performance art that's kind of expected of them to go over the top. But you hear some of the rage and screaming at other people. And destroying their keyboards and monitors and I'm one of those people who wants to turn round and say, for God's sake, it's a flipping game. When I play a tabletop game, yeah, I play to win. If it's if it's a competitive game, you want to be the winner. If it's a co-op game, you want to be winning as part of the team, winning. Of course you do, but you can always play the game again. With a video game, okay, you might have to go back to the last save slot, fair enough, but you can just try again. It's not life or death. You know, it's a game. Get over yourselves. They're meant to be fun. Enjoy them. Don't, rage quitting is nuts. And as much as I don't sort of wave the flag of tabletop gaming and try to be sort of evangelical about it, I have to admit, when I see those rage quitter videos, I gotta admit, they put me off gaming in any shape, sense or form when it comes to modern games. So what do you guys think? Are we as tabletop gamers, are we just, because of the nature of our hobby, do we have better respect for our fellow players? Do we take winning and losing more in our stride? Do we treat the game for what it is? A challenge, a fun, enjoyable social hobby, but ultimately a game. Let me know what you think.